Yes, my dress is covered in unicorns. I was about to start the video and I remembered that I had a viral video in March, so I just want to welcome any new subscribers who are jumping on the monthly vlog train to just get to know me a bit better. March was also the month that I tried and failed the KonMari method to declutter my bloody bedroom. I stacked heaps of shite on the floor, clothes and books and makeup, and I was all set to do it, and I got really frustrated and shoved everything back to where it was because I am not ready to be a minimalist. I'm taking baby steps and that is okay. Everyone on YouTube is decluttering and I am out here like a spare tit dangling, I just can't do it. March was also the month that I had scheduled a lot of time off working in advance, like way back in December. I planned trips and I intended to take a bit of a step back from YouTube and Instagram just after writing a 100,000 word novel, just to kind of reassess what I want to do with my content and where I want to go, life goals, what I want to focus on. I had to plan on buying a house, which I am hopefully going to get the ball rolling on, and I knew I'd have to adjust to my partner's amazing new job / massive workload, and I thought it would be all relaxing and stuff, but I actually sort of spiraled a little bit. Turns out when you've got more free time and time off to relax, you also have a lot more free time to overthink. Worry definitely crept in, and that is a big thing for me, and I know not a lot of people really talk about that online. Everyone wants to be, you know, the positive thinker and stuff, and I my default is negative thoughts, like most people's. I think humans are just kind of wired that way, so I have to really fight hard to try and maintain a positive mindset a lot of the time and to be optimistic. I lean on other people when I feel like that, like when I panic. I think that's so important. I'm lucky to have a handful of amazing people in my life and their relationships that I really want to nurture and work on, and not do what I tend to do and kind of push everyone away so I can be in my little scary bubble. Thing is, focusing on positive things in life becomes harder when bad things happen that are out of your control, and we'll get to that later in the vlog. Something kind of happened and I feel like after that I just kind of went like this, and yeah, you'll see. But editing this vlog back was really lovely because it gave me that chance to kind of hover over my life and watching it play out. And it made me realise, like, while anxiety does tend to bubble a little bit for me, there are so many things in my life to not be anxious about and to be very, very grateful for. Those are the times I tend to take my camera out and vlog, and I'm trying to get a bit more balanced with it, as you'll notice, vlogging more good times and bad times. And you know, being able to share all of it with yous actually does really keep me going sometimes, and reading your comments on these vlogs and knowing that they make you smile, or they make you excited about life, or they inspire you, they make you think about topics that I talk about. I just love that. So yeah, enjoy March. Let me know if you like it. Thumbs it up if you like it. And yeah. So welcome to
March.
It's Pancake Tuesday today. Thomas happily informed me. I think the cats want to get in. Go on. To be honest, the only reason I'm making pancakes is because I saw this in my local supermarket and it's gluten-free. They're made out of oats and you just add either milk and eggs or dairy-free milk and ripe bananas. So I'm going to mix that up. I'm going to do dairy-free milk and eggs.
Non più tra I farfalloni amoroso, notte giorno di torno girando, delle belle turbando al riposo.
I hope this works. I hope they're not shit.
Is that your pancake dance?
Yeah.
I'm simulating the pancake mix getting poured out.
We're not so enthused about these pancakes.
They're going to be delicious.
What if they're horrible?
I'll just pretend they're delicious.
It looks like an exploded brain, baby, look. I just plopped loads of whipped cream and jam and strawberries on, but it's all like melted off of the top.
This is an Instapile.
So they're nicer than I expected anyway, looking at them. Like, they don't look all that great, but with some jam and cream, they're real good, aren't they? Cheers.
Oh yeah, cheers.
Yeah. We're rewatching Sex and the City, and every time this is on, we do this. It's Carrie's legs. So I'm going for my 4th microneedling session this afternoon, and then all I have to do today really is just edit a video and go to the gym. This one's starting with his airline on Monday. On Monday.
I'm excited and terrified.
I'm kind of really excited for you to start with them because I feel like I'll have more of a work routine then, because I'm just going to make myself work while he's working and then be off when you're off, which is so handy.
If you were on a 9 to 5 job, we'd see each other less because I'd probably be coming in the door waiting for you to come home, or you'd be coming in the door waiting for me to come home.
I'm just excited about the uniform. Love a good uniform, I do. I think I look a little bit too jazzy to be going getting microneedling done to my face, but fuck it, I'm kind of feeling this outfit. I'm having a real moment with leather skirts. Probably not very cool, but I like them, and pairing it with my very old-timey red hat, which I love. I got this in a random hat shop in Dublin. Black tights, of course, and then just to finish myself off, I'm gonna spritz my face with the Pixie makeup fixing mist with rose water and green tea. I talked about this in my most recent skincare video. Back to the Godel bed, and this is where the magic happens. This is treatment number 4. When I started out, she told me I would notice the biggest difference after the 3rd treatment, which I definitely did. Hell yeah! I'm just talking to them, don't worry. So you can notice the difference as well, can't you?
Yeah, massive difference, really big difference in the scarring.
Yeah, it's amazing that there's stuff that you can get done for this now. I don't know, I feel like I did get to the point where I was just kind of living with it and I was fine, but I always wanted to know what would it be like to just not have scars and to not be thinking about them every day, because I don't know, when it's on your face, just to be a lot more conscious of it. That's just the way I am with it anyway. Sure, you can relate. So she's just been adding the numbing cream to my face, which kind of like numbs it so that you can't really feel the pen. We were just chatting there about the hydrofacial, and look, alright, there's this. It's like, what is it? It has a little machine that sucks blackheads.
This is the machine here. You use this head throughout the whole treatment to apply your peel, exfoliate, and also to remove any little blackheads. So we have different tips that we put on the machine. Your face.
It sounds amazing.
So it leaves the skin really, really clear. Really good for blackheads and just to really freshen up a good skin as well.
Oh, amazing. I think I'm going to book in for one of those and I'll tell us how it goes. But yeah, I love the idea of something sucking crap out of my face. A few of you guys have told me you've had bad experiences with this, but I feel like you just need to go somewhere proper. Like, I definitely recommend therapy. This lady is amazing. She numbs the crap out of my face and I can't feel anything. Literally, like, it's just scratchy, that's all. And that redness, like, it kind of goes away in a couple of days. She's put plenty of SPF onto my face now, but just so you know, this is the sexy redness levels we're dealing with, oh yes. Good thing I brought my Toy Story looking hat. We're continuing on with the Irish tour, the tour of Ireland. We've come to a place called Scholars Townhouse, and this is our first time here, so I want to capture how much we just freaked out at this room because it's amazing. We're going to Newgrange in Meath tomorrow, but we've come to stay here because it's really close by. And this is our dream bed, okay? This is the bed, the kind of bed that we want when we get our house. I'll show you my International Women's Day outfit now in a second, but there's the lovely flowery carpet. He's Saved by the Bell. And look, guys, look at this beautiful bed.
So cool.
I've always wanted to stay in like a proper 4-poster bed. We stayed in a little one last year in some random hotel.
It was a little bit rickety though.
Yeah. This is a sturdy ass bitch. And it has like this big mirror as well, which is quite saucy. Yeah! There's something about like having a cover to your bed. I don't know, it just makes the whole bed feel safer or something.
Feel extra cozy.
Yeah. And oh yeah, I ordered, because Thomas always orders these for me when we go to hotel rooms, but I wanted to surprise him.
You did a sneak.
I did a sneaky McSneak.
Why?
But yeah, I'll just show you my outfit real quick. I have a big baggy trousers. I have a little, I don't know what you'd even call this, a little string top thing, and then this mini cardigan, which I think Thomas thinks is very strange. These lovely boots are actually just from Tesco, and the rest of the outfit is from a local boutique. I feel a lot better now. I felt so horrible this morning because my skin is peeling from the microneedling the other day, and I have PMS, and I just felt all disgusting and ick, and I knew we were coming on a nice romantic trip, and I didn't want to feel shitty. I don't feel shitty now. I want to go for a walk around the place. Except I'm not bringing you with me. Why? If you don't.
Oh, what's that? You see what you've done? I've got it on my trousers as well, no?
Can't bring them anywhere.
You dropped it on me.
Ew. This room is just like, it feels like someone's sitting room or something. I think like a little family can rent it out. So old-timey.
Look at all the cool things. Look at that big book down there. What's that?
Oh, we should... Do you want to bring that up to the room? We can read it to each other.
It's Hogwarts of history.
I was just thinking about that there. I feel like because we don't have kids, it's so much easier to come and do stuff like this. We do want to have kids, but I kind of can see why some people are just like, nah, because you just got so much free time and free money.
I don't know, because I kind of feel like even when the day comes that we do have kids, I'll be able to just dump them with my parents or your parents. Cheers, Mom!
My dad's not gonna appreciate that.
Paul will have a great time.
Someone did leave a comment about how frequently we stay in hotels and all that kind of thing, but we don't really go on nights out or anything like that. Like we don't really have any expensive thing that we spend money on.
Yeah,
like,
especially over the past...
lately.
Yeah, I feel like since I got back from Spain, I've been so busy with one thing after another, with like my dissertation and work and interviews, and yeah, there's just been so much on that I haven't really gone. Neither of us have really gone on that many nights out.
Yeah, like we don't even. Tomorrow night we're going out for a dinner with our friends, and we might go out dancing like to a pub afterwards. But we don't drink very much. Like we'd have like one or two the odd time, but it's often like at home or like with a meal. I feel like where I spend my money is going places and food and stuff. I prefer spending my money on experiences rather than things, because makeup, that stuff lasts for months. Do you know what I mean? And like I do buy the odd like outfit and things like that, but
yeah, like for example with this place,
it's only 100 quid.
So
like 50 quid each.
50 quid each. I would spend at least 50 quid.
I'm not reckoning
on a
like
night out. I
know that for some people 100 quid is a lot of money. I'm not stupid. Like both of us have been on very low income in the past. Like I was on social welfare at one point in my life. When I was 19, I stopped working in this game. I worked in a GameStop shop, like a shop that sells computer games. I worked there for a couple of years and stopped working there, and I was really low for a long time. I spent a bit over a year on social welfare. Like I went back into education and I got like state funded for that because my dad's income was really low. That's another thing, like people kind of ask me a lot, does my dad pay for me? Like, do I not pay rent or anything like that? Of course I do. I've been paying my own way for as long as I can remember. Like,
let me down here.
Yeah, ever since I left university really. But like both of us have been on shit money before, so I know that it's probably not realistic for everyone to go to a hotel like every single month. We're living at home with our families right now, and we need some quality time sometimes so badly.
We're kind of aiming to go away once a month. So if the hotel is it's 100 quid a month, 25 quid a week that we need to save, like, so it's doable.
Yeah, it's manageable. Myself and my dad are going to be talking to a mortgage provider soon about buying a house. I think a lot of people think me and you are buying a house, but yeah, the plan, like, so he has a loan out for his pilot course.
Yeah, becoming a pilot is not cheap. If you want to become a pilot, please be sure before you start any of the training.
Yeah.
Please. Like even the medical that I got done, just to see if I was physically able to do the job, it's 500 quid.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, you'll be in debt for many, many years.
Yeah.
So be sure. It's a great job, but just please be sure.
Yeah, like your money will be decent and all that kind of thing. But yeah, no, so myself and my dad are buying a house. We're both putting the same amount into the down payment, but I'm getting it in my name. We love living together, and you know, the way the housing market is right now for a man in his 50s to go and just try and buy a house himself, like he'll just end up with a shit place. So we were just like, let's just get a place ourselves. We can soundproof off a section for him for when there's babas around, and then we'll end up getting our own place in the future.
Yeah.
We stay in each other's houses every night anyway, so we live together, but it's just scattered between both of our houses.
Yeah.
When's the last time we spent a night apart?
I don't actually know.
It's only months
been
ago.
weeks, like, because it's just weird if you don't do it. No, well, it's not weird if you don't do it, but like, it's just naturally nearly assumed now.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be like, all right, are we in yours or mine?
Oh yeah, and because like he collects me a lot, and I'll just come up in my pajamas, and his mom is always at the door like, what's she showing up like today? The other day I came up wearing a face mask, my hair was wet, I had a towel in my hair, pajamas, a big trench coat and runners, and I was like, oh, sexy, you know, you want this?
My dad was like, who's this? The Elephant Man.
We just arrived outside Newgrange. You can probably
literally, it's right there. It is right there. I can throw a stone at it from here.
We've had the most anticlimactic, like we were like, oh my god, and then we went up to the little building there, which we assumed was the visitor centre where you buy the tickets. Obviously it's a little hut right outside where we're wanting to go, and then she gives us this
map.
Fecking map, and you have to like drive all across the river basically and come here on a bus to go and see the thing.
We're essentially going to drive for 10 minutes so we can get on a bus to bring us back and park right where I am right now.
So we can see a 5,000-year-old tomb.
I'm doing it. Stupid rules, but I want to go. Yeah. I want to do it.
No, I want to see it too. Newgrange, it was built by Stone Age farmers. I looked all this up on Google for you. And it's older than the pyramid, so it's 5,000 years old. And the main thing that we all learn in school about Newgrange in Ireland is that they have this, whatever way it's built, once a year at the winter solstice, light shines through, and like there's this kind of bit of light that marks the beginning of a new year kind of thing. That's when this is the busiest, isn't it, in December? Like,
yeah, there's a kind of a lottery that you need to put your name down for, so you have to send off a form for that year, and they essentially just pick people at random and let them come and stand in the tomb. So essentially on the winter solstice is the only time that the sun shines through the roof box and illuminates the tomb. So the tomb is in darkness 364 days of the year.
You happy about this exciting drive we're about to go on?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna drive 10 minutes away and then
I'm wearing my lovely Irishy Newgrange dress. Oh, I'll show you everything when we eventually get there. We drove for ages in a big massive circle, even though it's right over there.
You can literally see it across the river. I drove for 15 minutes to get like a stone's throw.
An impressive feat of engineering, considering its Stone Age builders possessed only rudimentary technologies. Its facade is of white quartz, restored by archaeologists who believe the mound was originally covered in a smooth stone that reflected the light. The massive stones in the interior were perhaps pulled from the river. The builders probably moved the boulders into position by rolling them on logs. Archaeologists believe it took decades to construct Newgrange. And since life expectancy was short, only about 40 years, the project likely was handed down from generation to the next.
Hi, friends! Oh. So we're in my dad's car now. He's kindly given us a lift down to go for dinner with our friends up on the harbour, but we weren't really able to film much inside the tomb. They're really paranoid about scratches or anything like that happening, obviously. We got a tinsy little bit when we were walking in, and if you ever visit Ireland, definitely go there. It's mind-blowing. You look up at the ceiling, I'll just find a picture on Google and put it here. That was built 5,000 years ago, like 3,000 years before like Jesus and all that kind of stuff. Like, just to think, how did they figure that out? No water has ever gotten through the ceiling. Isn't that what she said?
Yeah. The way they lay the stones, they're at a slant facing out, kind of like slates on a roof. Me and Thomas immediately looked at each other and we were both thinking the same thing. Like, she was just like, oh, this has stood for 5,000 years. And we were like, yeah, this will be the one day that it all just crumbles. It all comes down. We get our names in the paper. The best part was she simulated what it's like when the light reaches through to the back of the tomb, which only happens in
Solstice.
the sun. Yeah, the winter solstice.
Far out.
Dad is prone to a little bit of road rage sometimes.
Fucking Egypt, Jesus.
Good morning. So a few days have passed, and the reason I wasn't vlogging during those few days is because my vlogging camera broke and I had to go and buy a new one, which was incredibly frustrating because I'm saving for a goddamn bloody house, and the screen just fell off and loads of other stuff's been wrong. So rest in peace, little guy. We did all of our other monthly vlogs on this baby. I've had the brows tinted and I'm about to pack because today is a very exciting day indeed. My sister Jessie is just upstairs getting ready, and the two of us are going off to Venice for 4 nights. It's to celebrate Jessie's 21st, and basically my present to her is just paying for her for the next 4 days, just anything that she wants to do over in Venice, meals and drinks and travel and all that kind of thing. And the actual trip is courtesy of my YouTube network, which is Broadband TV, and they gift me a travel bonus every year of like a few grand, mainly for YouTube events and that kind of thing. I proposed this trip to them because I told them about, you know, the monthly vlogs, and I like bringing you guys around with me, and I know I have viewers who live in Italy as well and stuff, and I wanted to see if I could use the budget for some travel content, so that's what we're gonna do. We've not been on a holiday in so long. I think my last actual holiday was when I went to Paris. I did a Food Diary Friday video there a couple of years ago, and I went with my family, but this is like 4 nights in Italy. While we're in Italy, I think we are gonna film a collab together, and I have a video to edit. It's all about anxiety, and I filmed it with the best-selling author of The Bullshit-Free Guide to Living with Anxiety. We need to say goodbye to Bill Bugs. We're going in our taxi shortly. I need to just throw a bunch of stuff into a suitcase. Hello, mister. Say hi, internet family. So yeah, I need to tell you the news about... I'm so excited! Anyway, ignore the screaming birthday girl while I show you my lovely smart man. He started training with his airline, so he is officially a first officer. He's got 3 months ahead of learning how to fly the Airbus. So yeah, he's getting his uniform fitted soon. We're actually flying with his airline today, Jessie. It's gonna be so weird when he starts. I'm so excited. I'm really gonna miss Thomas over the next 4 days because this is like one of the most romantic cities in the world. He's fuming. It's gonna be. Yeah, I'm bringing you. I'm bringing a big case just because, you know, the way every time you go away you end up coming back and nothing fits in, even if you don't buy anything new. This is my book that I'm reading this month, and I've wanted to read this for a very long time. It's called One Day by David Nichols. I'm going to get some nice fashion pictures for Instagram. Look at the state of this. This is my skincare and my makeup, and it wouldn't even close. So that's that. I've got my supplements, my lovely Kate Spade bag, a couple of pairs of shoes, straightener, gym stuff, so we can kind of do little workouts in the room. My little pilot teddy that Thomas got me just because I'm ridiculous. didn't that look glamorous? So I've been back for a few days and I've been very anxious since I got back from Venice. Beautiful Venice. A thing happened over in Venice and I was kind of debating whether I should even share all of the clips that I got there. I was watching the clips back and lining them up and imagining them with music over them, which is, I'm sure, what you just watched, thinking how different the trip seems without any context or without any like backstory. Kind of making me realise how much of a lie a lot of social media is, or how easy it is for people on the internet to mislead. We did have, for the most part, a lovely time and it was a beautiful, beautiful place, very romantic. I really want to go back there with my boyfriend. The reason I'm going to tell you what I'm about to tell you, and the message I want to get out there, is for people traveling on their own or traveling like I was with a younger sibling who I felt responsible for, so I felt even worse than alone. You know, if I ended up in danger, I don't think Jessie would have been able to protect me, and I've been struggling with how to tell this story without sounding like a really shitty feminist, like without sounding very regressive. Do you know what I mean? Right, where do I start? First things first, my sister and I experienced a lot of, I wouldn't even call it just unwanted attention. It was a level of persistence and discomfort that I've never experienced in my life ever. Venice in Italy is very much a tourist spot and many of the restaurants have men standing outside trying to lure in customers, you know. Because we were two girls on our own, I think a lot of them felt very welcome to be extremely forward. They would not only compliment us, they begged us for dates, they sang to us, they danced for us, they'd put their hand on us, like poke us or try and get us to come back. If we didn't want to go in, they'd ask like, do you have a boyfriend? And I'd be like, yes. And they'd be like, even in Venice though. They kept calling us baby. They were offering us discounts to come back later on for dates after we'd sat down to eat our food, and just continued to make us feel very, very uncomfortable the whole time. It kept commenting on us constantly, trying to catch our attention. One guy put his phone number down. It was just mad. And this isn't even the story, but like, this is just a bit of context. Like I put this out there on Instagram and a lot of Italian followers of mine confirmed that this is just kind of the way it is over there, that kind of machismo, peacock feathering bullshit behaviour is very, very common. And you know, I know it's a different culture and I don't want to insult people, but fuck me, it's not okay. Men being extremely persistent after you've said no, I'm not interested, just continuing on and on and on. We were getting really fed up with this by the time the worst part of the trip happened. So we were in a restaurant and there was this tall, dark and handsome man kind of working there, but he wasn't our server, like he wasn't our waiter, he was just there kind of hovering around us, kept smiling at us and that kind of thing. And he was like, have you girls been in Venice long? Is this your first time? You know, trying to suss out, you know, where we were staying and just kind of like asking questions, which we weren't really paying attention to be honest. But we finished our food and he immediately was like, so come down here, you can go on a gondola with my friend, he'll give you a discount. And we did want to go on a gondola, but he didn't know that, so it was just very strange because the guy was kind of almost waiting for us, and this guy who was talking to us had been coming in and out of the restaurant, so he may have talked to the gondola guy while we were having our food. Mr. Gondola, who I have footage of in this vlog and I have photos of and who I am definitely reporting. I'm calling my mum later and we're just going to plan out how I need to go ahead with reporting him. Yeah, he had a wedding ring on and he was being really nice at first, and I explained to him I didn't have enough cash for a gondola ride and he said I can stop off at an ATM. So yeah, we just went with him. He was an official gondola guy, you know, he had the uniform, he was standing where all the other guys were, so it was like getting in a taxi, you know, you just trust who you're getting with or whatever. And he was being fine and we were on the gondola just taking pictures and doing what everyone else was doing. But then he was on his phone for fucking ages. I have got snippets recorded of what he was saying, but obviously he was speaking in a different language, so we didn't know what he was doing on the phone. Like, none of the other guys were on the phone. It just seemed weird and dangerous to be on a phone. We were waiting for, I'd say, 40-ish minutes, and half of that he was on the phone. He pulled in, we got off the boat, and then I realised, shit, I still need to go to that ATM. And then he started being weird. He started talking about, oh, I have daughters and I'm married, so, you know, I can't go for drinks with you, but I really want to, and, you know, I can come for drinks with you guys, right? And then he put an arm around Jessie and I, and we were doing this uncomfortable
laugh every time guys were being like this. And this is what I'm so ashamed and embarrassed about, is that I wasn't just like, fuck off, and giving them that kind of stern face. I feel like I'm just not that type of person, and when I get uncomfortable, especially with strange men, I just kind of do that, like, expected, like, like, just, oh. If you've read my book, you know that I was assaulted when I was 17, and that has never fully left me, and that has affected how I behave in situations with strange men. I just kind of freeze up. And anyway, this sleazy prick had his arms around Jessie and I, and he was saying, oh, I am in heaven, oh, this is my dream, to be in between two beautiful young Irish women. And he was being really creepy. Brought me to an ATM, and I was like, oh, finally we can just go and be on our own again and enjoy our girly trip away. And handed him his money. Then he stood between Jessie and I, and we were on a crowded street. He had an arm around either of us again, and he was like, ladies, I have afternoon boyfriends for you, or afternoon boyfriends, or 1 hour boyfriends. I can't remember what he said, but basically, I have boyfriends for you, and they will treat you and all this. And we were both like, yeah, no, you're grand, we're fine. Literally 10 seconds later, kind of tilts us around this way, like veered us this direction, and there was a little thin alleyway, really, really small, no people on it except for two men, not Italian, not his age, wearing white robes, white caps, expecting us, waiting there, standing there, ready to wander off with us. And Jess and I didn't even, like, it's not like we looked at each other to contemplate it. We grabbed each other and legged it. We ran the fuck as fast as we could. And then I'd say about 5 minutes later, we kind of like calmed and we started laughing. We were like, what the fuck was that? Like, what just happened? That was so weird. And, you know, we had a load of plans for the day to go out to the island of Burano and stuff. So, I don't think we even stopped to try and process what was happening there. And it was later that night, it kind of, you know, came up again a few times. And I was just saying, that was really weird, Jess. Like, what was that about? If we had been a bit more naive, we could have been like, oh, they'll get us free drinks, they'll get us food, they'll show us around or something. But it felt very sinister and very set up and very uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable the second I saw them. And I'm just thinking about these two men standing in this alleyway with these girls being brought. And it's weird, there was like one guy passing us to another guy, passing us to another guy. And it's like it was all this little ring of people and it's all set up. And I was like thinking about it and getting more and more freaked out because like there's drugs that exist nowadays where people can just hold something like a tissue or something to your mouth and you're out. There's so many ways that people sex traffic and human traffic, and because I've been learning how common human trafficking is from Thomas, because he's doing the training, and like people in his airline have found people who have been reported missing and they've been abducted in plain sight and kidnapped and stuff like that. And I don't believe that they were just two guys looking to have a nice afternoon. Like, I had such a bad feeling about that, and I am so happy that we ran, and after that we stayed so safe. Like, we just stayed to crowded places, and yeah, I don't know, it affected me quite badly. Like, I think, you know, a lot of the guys over there were going on about their girlfriends and their wives, and oh, well, forget about them. Like, I'm here with you. Like, I don't know. I've just clammed up into myself. Usually I am very much one of those people who is very against lumping all men into a category. And I am. Obviously, I would never do that. But not a single woman treated us weirdly over there. Every single awkward interaction, and there was hundreds of them, were with men. And that is a societal thing. That is a cultural thing. That is not okay. And some of my Italian viewers have reached out to me to say that, for example, sexual assaults regularly are not believed or laughed off, or just kind of like, oh, well, it was her fault for wearing what she was wearing. Someone literally commented on my Instagram, you shouldn't have been wearing those clothes. What did you expect? Like, kind of almost putting it onto me. And also another person really fucking bothered me, saying that I shouldn't be making girls afraid to travel or discouraging girls from traveling. That's not what I want to do with this. I'm telling you this so that you be fucking careful if you're away. Stranger danger, children's. Seriously, me as well, like me personally saying like I would rather travel in a group of people or with men present is because I did not feel capable of keeping myself safe in that situation, those situations like that. I saw girls and women who were like in a couple or with like a family in the same restaurants that we were in, and they weren't getting the same weird attention. I think it was because we were on our own and we were targeted and singled out by a lot of fellas. And I just, ever since, have had this weird gross feeling, and I don't like it. And it's pretty unfortunate because it was such a stunning place. And yeah, there's a few reasons. Like, this is a cautionary tale, number one, but also, like, to tell you this, because it would have been so easy to just post the footage or just post pretty pictures from Venice, like, ooh, hashtag travel. Like, the world is not always very safe and lovely and nice, and we have to acknowledge that. While yes, it is great for women to be able to be independent and go and just do whatever they want to do and stuff like that, at the same time we have to recognize that there are threats out there, and we need to all kind of pull together and just keep our wits about us. I'm very glad we didn't get drunk at any point. Like, we had a couple of drinks every day, but we didn't get drunk. And yeah, I feel like I've learned a hard lesson that it's very easy for bad things to happen. And anyway, just wanted to update you because I haven't been vlogging the past week, well, the past few days anyway. I went to London, I filmed in the YouTube space with my cousin, and I went out for my good friend Sarah's birthday. So fun things have been happening, but I've just been pretty off all week, and I think Venice was quite a big part of why I've been off, and I don't really know how to shake it off. So I'd love to know if any of you have had similar stories or things happen to you, just to leave them in the comments for people who also like to travel, just to, you know, keep other people safe. It's really cool that the internet exists and we can kind of get these messages out there now. Some people are shit and the world is scary. And do not watch the documentary about Madeleine McCann. Knowing about the deep dark web makes me want to cry. Christmas present from my boyfriend.
Merry
going
Christmas,
to Hans
everyone.
Zimmer. You might remember Thomas got me tickets to go and see Hans Zimmer live, and we're going tonight. It's in the 3 Arena in Dublin, and we just spent ages trying to find parking, and we needed in because we're very, very hungry. Yeah, Hans Zimmer is one of my favourite composers. He did like The Lion King and Gladiator and The Dark Knight. Every single food place is full, and the only place that is completely empty is the salad place. There's a line outside Eddie Rockets that looks like they'll be waiting in the cold for half an hour rather than get a salad.
So many people would rather be late for the gig and stand in the cold to get Eddie Rockets than just get a wrap.
How are you, my internet family? So I'm now in Thomas's house, and I'm doing better than I was yesterday. I'm struggling quite a lot at the minute with a lot of change. You know how much me and Thomas love each other, and we love being together and spending time together and hanging out and having fun. And we've been so busy. I've been away so much. I just literally got back from Scotland. I went over there to visit my cousin John. My friend Keith came with me and we had an amazing time. John showed me the real life Hogwarts, the University of Glasgow. Lots of socialising and stuff, but I was so sad because John, my cousin, is one of Thomas's best friends, and so is Keith. Like, we're all part of the same friend group, and I was just so sad that he couldn't come with me, but he's training with his airline and it's such a heavy workload, and you know, it's a lot of work. His schedule, it's very full on, and I had all these kind of trips booked in advance because I wanted a bit of time off this month, and I didn't realise it was going to clash so much with when he'd be free. And yeah, I feel like not having enough quality time together has just been getting to both of us quite a lot. So I had a little bit of a breakdown. I've been crying all day, and he's in now putting on his gorgeous uniform because we're going up to his granny. It's Mother's Day and he's gonna go and show his granny what his uniform looks like on. I'm so fucking proud of him. I really am. I just miss him when he's not here. He's my best friend and we miss each other loads when we can't hang out all day. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. You scrub up very nice. Look at this. Holy.
It doesn't really feel real.
Yeah, well it's not going to be real until you're actually flying the planes, but damn.
I feel like I'm playing dress up.
That's what all adults feel like. Me and John were talking about that, where we feel like as adults we're just all pretending that we know what we're doing, and we all are pretending that we're adults and we're all just kids, but we're in adult bodies, so we have to act like adults. It's so amazing on you. Look at the little bit of fluff there. Your granny's gonna breathe. She's gonna be so excited.
Yeah.
I can't stop staring at you.
It's weird.
It's so
It doesn't
hot.
feel real.
Big deal.
What am I doing with this thing? Who
Dude.
gave me this?
Yeah. Who's he? Who's he dressed up as for Halloween? Oh, he thinks you're playing.
I'm not playing. They're chewing on stones. It's gonna hurt their teeth.
Seijo! Seijo, come here. Oh!